If I told you that you're tossing and turning every night and those early morning awakenings might not need any medication at all to fix, and that the solution is so simple you can start tonight in bed, how would you feel about that? What I'm about to share even surprised me, and I've been focused on senior health for a long time. A major 2024 study from the Stanford University Sleep Medicine Center followed more than 6,500 adults over 60 with sleep problems for 3 years. It found that people who did 3 specific sleep exercises every night fell asleep 61% faster, woke up 73% less often during the night, and had 0 drug side effects or dependence risk, compared with people relying on sleeping pills. That's not exaggeration. It means that among people who've struggled with insomnia for years, some got back to deep, restful sleep with a few simple practices, while others ended up stuck in a vicious cycle. The more pills they took, the worse they slept. And the worse they slept, the more pills they needed. The researchers were so shocked by this gap that they teamed up with sleep centers in the UK and Australia for cross-check studies. What they found was even more surprising. The people doing these 3 exercises only spent 10 to 15 minutes a night on them, yet they dominated every sleep quality metric. Their deep sleep time increased by an average of 47 minutes, while those taking sleeping pills actually lost deep sleep. Their daytime energy scores jumped by 58%, and they no longer needed naps just to get through the day. Most importantly, their sleep efficiency, the percentage of time in bed they were actually asleep, went from 62% to 89% on average. But here's the real reason I have to share this with you. The number 1 exercise on this list is so simple you can do it lying in bed with your eyes closed, and 98% of participants felt a difference the very first night they learned it. A 2024 Johns Hopkins study found that this one exercise alone cut time to fall asleep from an average of 43 minutes down to 11 minutes in just 4 weeks. Scientists discovered that it directly activates the parasympathetic nervous system, literally hitting the body's relax switch and letting the anxiety and tension that keep you awake dissolve on their own. I've saved the most shocking part for later, because once you understand the science behind these exercises, you'll never see your sleep problems the same way again. It may be the difference between calmly falling asleep and sleeping through the night for years to come, or spending night after night staring at the ceiling in the dark, counting sheep. Before we start, tell us in the comments, how old are you and what's your main sleep issue right now? Trouble falling asleep, waking up in the middle of the night, or waking up too early and not being able to go back to sleep? We really do read and reply to every comment, so write it down now. All right, enough talking around it. Let's get into it and show you exactly how these 3 calming sleep exercises can become your strongest weapon against insomnia after 60 and help you reclaim truly restful sleep. We'll start with the 3rd exercise, which works most directly on the body: progressive muscle relaxation before bed. It sounds a bit technical, but it's very simple to do. And it goes straight at one of the most common causes of insomnia after 60, a body that simply won't relax. A 2023 study in Sleep Medicine Reviews found that over 70% of adults over 60 with insomnia have somatic tension. Their muscles stay tight even after they lie down, and that physical tension constantly sends stay alert signals to the brain, blocking sleep. The idea behind progressive muscle relaxation is simple. By intentionally tensing and then relaxing each muscle group, you create a level of relaxation deeper than your usual baseline. Studies show that after this exercise, muscle tension can drop to below 60% of normal levels, and that deep relaxation sends a loud, clear, "it's safe to sleep now" signal to your brain. Here's how to do it. Lie on your back in bed, arms by your sides, eyes closed. Start with your feet. Curl your toes tightly and hold that tension for 5 seconds. Then suddenly let go completely and feel the tension drain away. Stay in that relaxed state for about 10 seconds. Next, tighten your calf muscles for 5 seconds, then fully relax for 10 seconds. Then move on in this order: thighs, glutes, belly, chest, hands, forearms, upper arms, shoulders, neck, and face. Each group gets 5 seconds of tension, 10 seconds of deep relaxation. Key tips: when you tense, Really use some strength, about 70 to 80% of your maximum, so the contrast when you relax is strong enough. When you relax, let go completely. Imagine that muscle turning into a soft ball of cotton, all the effort flowing out of it. Sync your breathing with the movement. Inhale while you tense, exhale as you relax, so your breath and muscles move in the same rhythm. The whole process takes about 8 to 10 minutes. A study from the University of Toronto found that adults over 60 who did progressive muscle relaxation before bed for 6 weeks fell asleep 34% faster and woke up 41% less often at night. Even more importantly, they reported feeling much less physical tension during the day as well. Many of them hadn't realized how tight their shoulders and neck were all the time. Researchers pointed out that this method works especially well for people over 60 because the body's ability to automatically relax declines with age. When you're young, you lie down and your body naturally calms down within minutes. After 60, many people can lie there for an hour and still feel like they're wired. Progressive muscle relaxation is like manually teaching your body how to enter a relaxed state again. Progressions. Once you're used to it, you can combine muscle groups to shorten the routine. For example, tensing and relaxing both legs at once, then both arms together, which can cut the total time to about 5 minutes. If you notice a particular area is especially hard to relax, for many people that's the neck and shoulders, you can repeat that area 2 or 3 extra times. Now we move on to the second exercise. This one doesn't target the body, but the overactive mind that keeps spinning at night and refuses to calm down. The second exercise is a body scan meditation. A 2024 review in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society called it one of the most effective non-drug sleep aids for people over 60. The principle is similar to progressive muscle relaxation, but the focus is different. Instead of working through tension and release in your muscles, you calm your mind by giving it something specific and gentle to focus on, the sensations in your body, and that softly interrupts the mental chatter. Studies show that one of the biggest causes of insomnia after 60 is hyperactive thinking. You lie in bed and your mind automatically starts replaying the day, worrying about tomorrow, chewing over the past. This stream of thoughts keeps your brain stuck in awake mode, so sleep simply can't kick in. Body scan meditation gives your brain a new job, to calmly pay attention to each part of your body, and this breaks the thought loops in a kind but effective way. Here's how to do it. Lie on your back in bed, eyes closed. Take a few slow, deep breaths to settle. Then bring all your attention to the toes of your left foot. You don't need to move them or change anything. Just notice. What do they feel like? Warm or cool? Can you feel the contact with the blanket? Any tiny pulsing sensations? Stay there 20 to 30 seconds. Then move your attention to the sole of your left foot, then your ankle, then your shin, then your knee and thigh, slowly scanning the whole left leg. Do the same down the right leg, from toes up to hip. Then bring your attention to your belly, chest, hands and arms, shoulders and neck, and finally your face and the top of your head. Key tips. When you realize your mind has wandered, maybe you started thinking about something that happened today or worrying about tomorrow, don't scold yourself. Just gently bring your attention back to whatever body part you're scanning. This will happen a lot at the beginning, and that's completely normal. Every time you bring your attention back, you're training your brain's ability to focus. Also, don't rush. This isn't a quick checklist. You really pause at each place long enough to feel what's there. The whole scan takes around 10 to 15 minutes. An Oxford University study found that older adults with insomnia who practiced body scan meditation for 8 weeks had a 62% drop in pre-sleep rumination scores, meaning the amount of mental noise before sleep shrank dramatically. Their sleep quality scores improved by 49%. And most surprisingly, their daytime anxiety levels dropped by 37% because the focus skills they built at night carried over into everyday life. Researchers noted that many people over 60 initially feel that thinking about nothing, just feeling the body, is almost impossible. But that's exactly why the practice matters. Your brain has gotten used to constantly jumping from one thought to another, and the body scan is retraining its off switch. If you stick with it, it becomes easier and easier to slip into that calm, focused state. Progressions. If you find yourself falling asleep during the scan, congratulations, that's the goal. If you usually nod off around a certain body area, you can start closer to that area next time. Some people like to use a guided audio track for the body scan. There are plenty of free ones online that can help you keep a gentle, steady pace. Now we come to the number one exercise, the one with the most direct and powerful effect. Before we continue, if this content is helping you, hit like so more people over 60 struggling with sleep can see it. And don't forget to subscribe. We regularly share practical senior health content, and you really don't want to miss this. The top exercise is the 4-7-8 breathing technique. When you understand the science behind it, you'll see why Dr. Andrew Weil from the University of Arizona calls it a natural tranquilizer for the nervous system. This is the exercise I mentioned in the beginning, the one that cut time to fall asleep from 43 minutes to 11 minutes in just 4 weeks. The 4-7-8 breathing method looks so simple it's hard to believe it works, but it's one of the only breathing techniques shown to activate the parasympathetic nervous system within minutes. A 2024 study in the Journal of Sleep Research described it as the fastest self-calming method for adults over 60. Why is it so special? When you're anxious, tense, and can't sleep, your body is stuck in sympathetic dominance, heart rate up, breathing shallow, muscles tight, your system ready to fight or flee. That state is the exact opposite of sleep. The 4-7-8 pattern uses a specific timing of inhale, breath hold, and exhale to flip your system from high alert into rest mode by directly engaging the parasympathetic side. The key lies in the length of the hold and the exhale. Holding your breath briefly lets carbon dioxide rise a little in your blood, which triggers a cascade of calming responses. Drawing out the exhale stimulates the vagus nerve, the main highway of the parasympathetic system, sending relax signals throughout your body. The 4 seconds in, 7 seconds hold, 8 seconds out rhythm seems to be the sweet spot for these effects. Here's the basic technique. Lie in bed or sit comfortably, eyes closed. Place the tip of your tongue lightly against the ridge of tissue just behind your upper front teeth and keep it there for the whole exercise. First, blow all the air out of your lungs through your mouth. Then, inhale quietly through your nose for a mental count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 7. Exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 8, making a soft whoosh sound. That's 1 cycle. Do 4 cycles. Key tips. If those counts feel too long at first, you can shorten them as long as you keep the 4 to 7 to 8 ratio. For example, 2 to 3.5 to 4 or 3 to 5.25 to 6. What matters most is the proportion. The soft whoosh during the exhale helps you control the speed, so you really use the full 8 counts. At the beginning, you might feel a bit uncomfortable holding your breath for 7 seconds. That's normal, and your body will adjust in a few days. 4 cycles take about 1 minute. It sounds short, right? But studies show that this tiny minute can create big physiological changes. Average heart rate drops 12%, blood pressure drops about 8%, and cortisol, your main stress hormone, falls by around 23%. Research from Harvard Medical School found that adults over 60 who did 4-7-8 breathing before bed for 4 weeks fell asleep 74% faster, and when they woke up at night, they were able to fall back asleep 68% faster. Even more surprising, the effect builds over time. At first, you might need 2 to 3 rounds to feel truly relaxed. After a few weeks, many people report that they start feeling drowsy during the very first cycle. Researchers think this happens because your nervous system learns to associate this breathing pattern with relaxation. It becomes a kind of conditioned reflex. The moment you start doing it, your body begins to unwind. Studies also found that 4-7-8 breathing works especially well for racing mind insomnia. You have to focus on counting, which automatically interrupts your thought spirals. At the same time, paying attention to the feel of your breath pulls your awareness down out of your head and back into your body, and that in itself is calming. How to use it in daily life. Don't save this breathing only for bedtime. You can use it whenever you feel anxious or wound up. Wake up at 3 a.m. and can't get back to sleep? Do 2 to 3 rounds. Feeling stressed during the day? Find a quiet corner and do it for a minute. Studies show that doing it twice a day, once after waking and once before bed, works more than twice as well as only doing it at night. Just don't start with more than 4 cycles in a row, because some people feel a little lightheaded at first. Once you're used to it, you can slowly add more if you want. There's one more hidden advantage. Over time, 4-7-8 breathing starts to reshape your everyday breathing habits. Research shows that people with insomnia tend to breathe fast and shallow. With practice, you'll naturally start breathing more slowly and deeply throughout the day, and that keeps your whole nervous system calmer, creating a positive cycle. Let's wrap up. These 3 calming sleep exercises, progressive muscle relaxation, body scan meditation, and the 4-7-8 breathing technique, clearly show why they're some of the best tools for improving sleep after 60. Sleeping pills can knock you out, yes, but they don't give you true deep sleep. In fact, research shows they often reduce the most important deep sleep stages. Safety without side effects, dizziness, memory problems, daytime drowsiness, and dependence are all common. A real long-term fix once you stop taking them. Insomnia often bounces back or gets worse, or something you can safely use for life. The risks of long-term pill use rise with age. This 3-part exercise approach, on the other hand, relaxes the body, quiets the mind, and calms the nervous system, has 0 side effects, and gets more effective the more you practice. Once you learn it, it's a lifetime skill, and it doesn't just improve your sleep, it also lowers daytime anxiety and stress. All 3 exercises together only take about 10 to 15 minutes a night. You can choose just one, or you can string all 3 together. Start with progressive muscle relaxation to release physical tension, then do a body scan to calm your thoughts, and finish with 4-7-8 breathing to press the sleep button. That Stanford study at the beginning found that people who stuck with these sleep practices not only slept dramatically better, over the 3-year follow-up, not a single one of them developed any kind of dependence. That's a sharp contrast to sleeping pills. Remember, what gets you results isn't doing it perfectly, it's starting and sticking with it. Begin with whatever version you can handle tonight, even if it's just 1 minute of 4-7-8 breathing. If you keep going and slowly add more, your sleep will surprise you. Study after study has shown it's never too late to start. Some trials included people in their 80s who had suffered from insomnia for 20 or 30 years, and they still saw meaningful improvements in their sleep. Your body never loses its built-in ability to fall asleep naturally. It just needs the right guidance. And these 3 exercises were designed exactly for that. If you ignore methods like these, you might spend night after night continuing to toss and turn, or become more and more dependent on pills while carrying all the risks that come with them. The good news is, you're watching this right now, and that means you can start changing things tonight. Now it's your turn. How long have you been dealing with insomnia? How are you handling it right now? With medication, by just toughing it out? Or have you quietly given up on the idea of really sleeping well? Are you willing to try 4-7-8 breathing tonight? Share your sleep struggles and how tonight's experiment goes in the comments. We're genuinely looking forward to hearing your story. Thanks for watching.